So today I'm gonna take you in a couple days of my life as a personal chef. This is actually 2 days out from when I'm gonna cook for one of my clients, and I need to go pick up the mushrooms that are gonna be a big part of her meal. I'm gonna get it from the mushroom farmer, but before I go, I'm going to show you one of my favorite juices, a mommy juice. It's a cold pressed juice. Now, for me, the issue with juices is that even though it's fruit and usually it's not added sugar, it's usually a ton of sugar. So in the back of this, the total amount of sugar is 19 grams, which is over 3 teaspoons of sugar. There's 4 servings in this whole thing. I got this from Whole Foods. I love it. Branding, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I was influenced because it says Mommy Boost. That made me wanna like it, but it tastes pretty good. That it's got ginger, it's got beets, that helps with inflammation. You got your fruits in there, but there's no fiber. I need my fiber. I need my fiber because if I drink this, it's gonna taste good for like a good 30 minutes. I'm gonna feel great. My energy's gonna crash because there's not enough fiber to keep the blood sugar from being stable. Sorry, I'm nerding out. It's the doctor side of me talking. I love coming in the morning because there's not as many people here. And I go to Food Line to get this. This is the juice. Walk the plant, nature's promise. It's so good. 7 grams of protein, I didn't even realize that. 9 grams of fiber, only 10 grams of sugar, no added sugar in this whole bottle. All right, I gotta go.
Information needed. Your MVP card has been accepted.
But yeah.
All right, lady, we got some pretty blue oysters for
All
you.
right, awesome. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Next time I come, I'm gonna try my best to bring a plate. I'm ashamed it took me this long to bring y'all a plate.
That'd be awesome. Now you're talking.
You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Got the goods. Sprinkles gourmet mushrooms. I love them. Troy, you're amazing. He's amazing. If you're in High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, you gotta go there. All right, now we're gonna go pick up some stuff from Sprouts. This is not like the full grocery shop. It's just some of the stuff I wanna prep that I have to bake beforehand for prep. So I'm gonna get some of this butternut squash to go with my butternut squash rigatoni. And I'll probably save some to use for some butternut squash bread. Get some sweet potatoes, get some shallots. I love cooking with these because they taste like onions and garlic. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And this is my favorite. These murasaki sweet potatoes. They're sweet, it tastes almost like a marshmallow kind of softness. This will go really good with the stew I'm making. Check my list, make sure I'm getting everything that I need. This is one of my favorite reasons why I like to go to Sprouts because they have fruit that I don't see at other grocery stores. This is star fruit. This will be a nice snack. I also like their dragon fruit, but I'm gonna do star fruit today. And I'm wondering, is it possible for me to pick it up here? Should I still go? Can I do that? I already told them I was on my way, but I didn't want to say I'm here since I'm not parked in the spot.
Yeah, you can definitely do
Okay.
that.
Is that okay?
Here. I think
Okay. Okay, thank you. I like getting the produce myself just because I like to, kind of look through and everything like that. You have a blessed day.
Podcast?
Oh yeah, I do a YouTube vlog. Yeah, Chef Shayla MD. I'm a plant-based chef, so yeah, absolutely. I'll see you again, Darnell. Thank you for your help. So this client that I'm cooking for, she's one of my favorite people because a lot of times when I first started this journey, sometimes I'd have my moments of doubts and I would just be like, man, like, does it make any sense for me to be a chef when I was trained as a doctor? And one of the things she would remind me is that you're still a doctor. You're just a doctor in the kitchen. And that was so inspiring to me. It really just encouraged me to remember, like, when I'm preparing this food, when I'm thinking of these recipes, when I'm choosing these ingredients, that I am still helping people heal their bodies, reverse different health conditions by the types of ingredients that I use and the techniques that I use. Another common thing about being a chef that is similar to being a doctor is I still have to have like this curiosity of how to learn different techniques, how to incorporate foods in a very, fun way that makes people more willing to try things. Even like making this dressing, typically a poppy seed dressing is filled with a lot of sugar, a lot of fat. And it is a vinaigrette, a creamy vinaigrette, so you still need fat from the olive oil, but being able to control how much of that I'm using, I think that's powerful, and I know people can still have that flavor with it still being beneficial to them. Now, this sweet potato cornbread, I'm gonna be real, it's a bit sweet because I like sweet cornbread. That's how my grandma made it growing up, putting that maple glaze on top is key to me. And so here I'm actually using the butternut squash to be the base of a pasta dish. That will be one of the main entrees for her. Going back to the technique part of this, Chef Derek Sarno is someone that I follow for years now on YouTube. He's a plant-based chef, and I learned this technique from him with butternut squash because I used to try to cut it and peel it, and it terrified me because the squash is rolling and I'm scared I'm gonna miss. With his technique, all you have to do is take the whole squash, put it in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour or so, depending on the size. And then you let it cool, for maybe 20 minutes or so, and then you could just peel the squash right off. So I actually had a little bit of squash left over, so I was able to use that to make my family some butternut squash bread, because I always feel a little bit bad when I do my cook day, like they're gonna miss out. Now it's the next day. This is actually the day of me cooking for my client Sharon. This is the day that I actually go to the store to hand pick my produce because I'm cooking plant-based and everything from scratch. I like to look at what I'm going to pick. I want to make sure I'm getting the best quality. I want to make sure the carrots look good, the bell peppers look good, the mushrooms don't have too much moisture on them because they put that saran wrap on them so that can trap moisture. It's something about just picking out the produce myself and just seeing it. It gives me that energy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did add a little bit of time recording it like this, but I think it was worth it for you guys to kind of see what my process is. Excuse me, where do y'all keep y'all's like sourdough bread?
As in the bakery
Duh.
on the other side.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can I help you?
I'll go with all these are the San Francisco ones? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
You have a good day. I still get like my canned good products. I go ahead and put in the order on their app, and then at the end I'm able to pick that up. I actually learned that idea from YouTube. Chef Eric James, he showed me that. And so isn't that the cool thing about social media, is that you can learn from other people without actually meeting them. All right, so now let's get back to the house. I'm at my client's house. I'm going to start off with her favorite dish. This is crispy blue oyster mushrooms. My first time cooking this is when I cooked it for Tabitha Brown, and ever since then, this client, she loves this. She tells me this is like her version of fried chicken. I'm willing to make that for her to make this transition easier for her. So we start off with that first because that oil needs time to cool down by the end of the cook day so I can transport that safely. And then with the veggies, she's a big fan of cabbage, and so one of my favorite ways to make cabbage is, instead of sauteing it on the stove, especially with so much, I actually roast it in the oven, and I do it with bell peppers because it's kind of have like a Jamaican kind of Caribbean vibe. So we got our reds, we got our greens, we got our oranges. One of my favorite parts about cooking in people's homes is that, when they bring people over or they just have friends over, getting to meet them. So I got to meet one of her neighbors / friends.
I stopped by my friend's house. This woman is cooking in this kitchen like you would not believe. My name is Joy. I emulate Joy, and her food tastes like pure joy. This tastes like chicken. It's amazing.
Now this is actually going to be croutons for a salad. I love making sourdough croutons. Making croutons is actually a lot easier than it seems. Like literally all it is cubing up bread. You season it with your favorite seasonings, add a little oil, and you put it in the oven, 400 degrees, for about 20-25 minutes until it's crispy. And be careful, because if it's too hard, it'll crack your and you eat it the wrong way, it can get those gums. Now the mushrooms are out. They look nice and crispy, so that's gonna be our first platter. The cabbage should be coming out soon. Now I had cooked some brown rice because that's going to be the base of my stir-fry dish. So after I've cooked the rice, I put that in the fridge so it can cool down, because cooled rice is the best rice to use. Really, day-old rice is the best rice to use if you want to do a really good stir-fry. A big part of cooking plant-based food is the prep. So cutting your veggies, and because I'm cooking everything from scratch, cutting my carrots, my onions, my bell peppers, that's key because that's the base flavor for most of my dishes. I mean, when you really think about it, plants are the reason why food tastes good to begin with. That is the basis of spices. Now, this butternut squash pasta situation is about to go down right here. So you can see I'm taking the butternut squash puree and I'm combining that with basil, olive oil, cooking that down. I add a little bit of coconut milk to really creamify that. Now, I know it seems like a ton, but you have to remember, all of these meals are going to last her for at least a week, for her and her family. And so I really want to make sure she has a diversity of meals, because nobody wants to have the same exact thing over and over again. So just like we did the crispy mushrooms earlier, now I'm doing a different type of mushroom technique where I'm going to sear it like you would a steak. You're not adding any salt. The only thing you're adding to a really hot pan, preferably cast iron, is oil. You can get a nice sear on that. It's funny because when my family sees me do these videos now, it's so ironic to them because I was not the person that would be cooking food for somebody, let alone making something that's all plant-based. But here I am. So let this be an encouragement to someone who's thinking about switching careers, who's thinking about making a pivot, that if it's something that you're passionate about, you don't have to stay in the identity that you are used to. People can change, we can grow, especially if you're doing it to serve someone else. Now the black eyed pea and sweet potato stew is done, and those are black eyed peas from scratch. That is the power and the beauty of an Instant Pot. Our next entree is actually going to be a rendition of beef and broccoli, but instead of beef, we're going to do mushrooms. And these are your typical portobello mushrooms that I'm using as a base while I blanch the broccoli before I stir fry it. Now remember those mushrooms that we seared? Now I'm going to add my jerk maple glaze to that. So it's going to have a little kick of spicy and a little bit of that sweetness too. And that she can use that to pair with her pasta or any of the other dishes that I prepared for her. You know, I can't be a plant-based chef if I'm not going to be using lots of vegetables. And for this client, she loves broccoli. I love broccoli too. Ain't nothing wrong with broccoli. Now, let's remember the croutons that I made earlier. Here's the salad that is going to go with. And this salad is super simple. I love this. Actually, you can get the same type of salad from the store. It's the sweet kale cabbage salad. But if you want to make it on your own, really the main thing is to slice cabbage very thinly, slice kale very thinly, and then you make whatever toppings you want. For me, because of the season, summertime, I'm doing a mix of strawberries, thinly sliced, dried cranberries, pumpkin seeds, and I put it in the fridge that way. And then when she's ready, she can have that with that poppy seed dressing that we made earlier, as well as our sourdough croutons. And this is the lineup, guys. Let's walk through everything that we just made. Crispy oyster mushrooms, roasted plantains, roasted bell peppers and cabbage, jerk maple glaze, oyster mushrooms, black eyed pea stew with sweet potato cornbread, butternut squash sauce rigatoni, veggie fried rice with mushrooms and broccoli, kale and cabbage salad with sourdough croutons with a homemade poppy seed dressing. Now, believe it or not, my favorite part, well, let me say this, my least favorite part is labeling, but that's very important because it makes it easy for people to reach for what they have in the fridge. But my favorite part is being able to clean someone's kitchen and there's no evidence that I was in there except for the smell of good food. I mean, just imagine you come home from work, your kitchen is spotless, and you smell 4 different meals that you already have prepped in your fridge. There really is no better feeling. And if you want to see one of my recipe videos where I cook something kind of similar, check out this video up on top. Thank y'all for watching.